In this video I'm going to show you how I put a NRF24 in the Lilygo T-Embed. So I've got a NRF24 module inside it. It's fit nicely in there, so it hasn't taken any more additional space. So just before I get started on this video, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the sponsor of this video, PCBWay. If you want to take your projects to the next level, they offer a number of different services from manufacturing PCBs, CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and also do injection molding. So if you have any needs for any of these services, I would highly recommend you check them out. I've used them, their services in the past for some of my other projects, and I've been really happy with the quality of the products and their customer service. So definitely check them out if you need anything. So we'll get started on the video. So the first thing you'll need to do is pull apart the T-Embed. So just take the back cover off. It's just held by some magnets, so you can just pull it straight up. Then you've got the battery. You need to get something to, if you haven't removed the battery before, is just pry it up carefully and slowly. And there'll be some double-sided tape on it that was holding it in place. There's also going to be this connector, and it'll be connected to there. And just, you want to use some tweezers just to pull it up, and then remove all the three antennas. So you've got one there, you've got one there, and you've got one over here. Once you've done that, you can just get your finger or something and just push it against the shell. Sorry, push against the shell outwards, and it'll create a space. And you just get something and just pry it to pop it open. Just take your time to do it so you don't damage anything. And then you'll get to that, to the main board. So I'll just hold it into place. So we've got this board here is the CC1101, and this is the ESP32. I've also connected, I've removed the connectors that were here, so there's usually two connectors there, so don't worry about this part. I've just done this on my one, so I was going to hardwire some other stuff in, but I've decided not to. I'll just put a switch in. So look at this. So the main pins that we're going to need, or the main things that we're going to solder are going to be number 2, 1. So that's 1, 2. We're going to solder that one, solder this one, and this one. So there's going to be 4 on the bottom. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then on the ESP32, we're going to have one joint there, and then there's going to be one here and one here. So in total, there's going to be 5 connections to the NRF board. And I'll just show you the NRF board that I've got. So I've just got a standard NRF board. I've soldered some wires onto it already, ready to put in. And these are just some Silicone 30 AWG. I've also removed the antenna connector. So it comes standard with the SMA connector. So I've desoldered it. And then I've soldered on just the IPEX connector. So underneath the SMA connector, there's actually a spot to solder this on. So that's what I've done, so I can put it into the T-Embed. Obviously, if you're going to do it in a different way, or you're going to mount the NRF board somewhere else, you can do that as well. So you can put it, if you wanted to mount it somewhere, maybe, I don't know, out of the T-Embed a certain way. But I found out this is probably going to be the neatest way for me. So this is what I'm going to do. And then we'll just get to soldering. So where I'm going to place the board is I'm going to put it about here. Just zoom out. So I'm thinking of just placing it there, and hopefully everything should sit back in place fine. So that way. So it's going to sit like that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of these pins that are poking out. I don't know if you can see them. So there's 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to trim it so it's just the board. Then NRF board will sit a bit more flush. And I'll put a diagram of the wiring as well at the end of this video, just so you can pause the video if you want and just work off that. So I've just removed 1, 2, and 3. And now the board sits more flush. The next thing I'll do is I'll put some tape on the bottom of the board so it doesn't short out on anything. So just a bit of tape there. And then we want to get ready to solder the wires in. So we'll get this. I'll just turn my soldering on. And then we just want to put a bit of solder on where we're going to put the wires. Try again. This one might take a little while, just because this is a ground pin, so it needs a bit of heat. So just those four. So don't worry about the first one that I've got there. I was just doing some other testing, so don't worry about that one. You only need to put solder on 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So essentially, if you're looking, counting it from this side, it's number 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you want to put a little bit of solder on for looking at the ESP32. So we've got on this, on the left side, it goes number 1, and number 2, you want to put a little bit of solder on. And then on the right hand side, you want to go 1, 2, 3, and number 4 and number 5, you want to put a little bit of solder on as well. And then we put the NRF board. Oops. And when we're looking at the NRF board, and we're looking at this way, so the way the pins are counted is it goes number 1, then it goes number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm just going to put it in around about the location that I want the board, so then I know how much wire I'll need. And we'll just start with the first one. So number 1. So we want ground, and the ground on this, on the C1101, is number 2 down. So number 1, number 2. So that one is ground. So I want to get the wire long enough to get to that, but not too long either. So that looks okay there. Get it. I can just tin it. Then we can solder that one in place. So it's the second one in. So number 1, 2. Just double check again, make sure that it looks okay. Yep. So the next one is the positive. So for the positive, you want to wire it up to the ESP32 and number 2 down on the left. So 1, 2, and you just want to solder it into there. The reason I've already got wired up is because I'm wiring up to the switch. So you can do the same thing. So I've put in a switch so I can turn it on and off, so it's not going to always be on. So when I'm not using it, I can just have it off. But yeah, so you want to rig up a switch somewhere. So obviously you probably can't put it here because you've got the 2 connector ports here. You can probably put it on the back cover if you wanted, or you can do the same thing I've done. I've just removed the connectors and put the switch there. So I'll just wire it up to the switch here. Let's try to be as neat as possible as well. So it needs to wire about to there, but I might give it a bit of slack as well. I'll just solder that in. Just cut the excess off. So number 3 on the NRF. Number 3 is going to go to the ESP32. So this is the CE pin. So this will go to number 4 down from the right hand side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So pin 3 on the NRF goes to this one here. So 4 down. I need it to be about there. Solder that in. And then we've got pin 4 on the NRF. So the 4th pin, it just goes to the one directed below it. So it goes to 5 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you don't need much, it's a very small amount of wire left. So those are connected now. And then we're going to pin 5 on the NRF. And this one, so number 5 goes to the very last one that we've soldered. So number 5 goes to 5 across, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the one we want to go to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last one, number 5. Okay. And then we've got number 6. Number 6 goes to the third one down. So 1, 2, 3. So 6 goes to 1, 2, 3. And the last pin we've got is number 7, and that one goes to the 4th one down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the last one there. And I think we're done with the soldering iron, so hopefully I don't need it anymore. I'll put it away. And we can just look at how it's wired up. So on the bottom of the C1101, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got one for the 3.3 volt, and we've got 2 other connectors on the ESP32. And this is just going to sit, I think, about there. So looks alright. I'll put some double-sided sticky tape or double-sided adhesive on it, just to keep it onto the board and hopefully keep it in place. Sorry, my camera mount's being a bit shaky today. So I won't put too much on, just enough to hold it. And I'll position this to where I want it. So there it looks right. Just press down, and it's held into place now with the double-sided tape. Next, I'm just going to try to clean up some of the wiring so it's not just everywhere. I think that looks good enough. Now it's just a matter of putting it all back together and testing it out. So just connecting the antennas up. The speaker. So you can probably do this when it's all put back together as well, but I'll just do it now. And hopefully I can get the case back together. Make sure there's no wires poking out or through the case. And I'll gently close it up. So that looks good. Oh. So it's all shut. You can see it's pretty much a perfect fit. So the speaker, the NRF board, is there butt to butt pretty much. And I'm using this this antenna here. So it's just one of these flat antennas. It's 2.4 gigahertz antenna that I've got from one of my other kits that I had lying around, so this will work well. So I can just connect this up there. Connect the antenna for the Wi-Fi. Just double check everything again, make sure nothing's shorting or hitting something else that it shouldn't be. And it looks alright. So you can see the switch I've got here, it's just a little dip switch. So the SD card will still fit on the top, so I've tested that, so that's all good. And then we can just put the battery in. So the battery set there. Then I can just tuck in the wires for the battery. And I'm just going to leave the antenna just sitting on the top for now. I might peel it off actually. So I'll just sit on the back of the battery for now. So it's all put back together. And then we can test it out. So first thing I'll probably want to do is just test to make sure the RF works still. Let's go into here, scan, let me find my remote. So let's go to the little remote here. So yep, that works fine. And go out. Okay, NRF. Go to spectrum. Not found. Oh, so it's not on yet, so let's turn it on. I don't know if you can see that. Turn the light down. So it's picked up the NRF. And I'll just turn on my flipper as well. Go to Bluetooth, stream, and I might just put on something like this one. So I'll press that, and you can see it's picking up all the signals. And I'll turn it off. Yeah, that's just showing that it's working. So if you can go into the NRF and it goes into spectrum, you pretty much connected it up fine and it's working. And this is just a wiring diagram, if you want it, of what I've wired it up. So hopefully you can understand it. This is just the CC1101 that's on the T-Embed, and that's just the wiring that goes up to the NRF, and we've got the ESP as well. So hopefully you can just look at this and get an idea of how to wire it up as well. And thanks for watching. Hopefully this video has been helpful. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.